Governor Phil Scott and a contingent of state officials that included cabinet secretaries and state agency and department heads descended on Bennington County on Tuesday, September 24th, as part of the Capital for a Day event the Scott administration has implemented. The idea behind the visits by state officials to the 14 counties around the state is to make it easier for local residents and officials to communicate with members of the state government who are usually found in Montpelier, to pass along ideas and concerns, and also to hear back from those state officials about what might be in the works to address those issues. This is the second time Bennington County has become the capital for the day. The previous time was in August of 2018.
This is an opportunity for us to experience what they have to go through every Tuesday when they're coming to the legislature during the legislative session. And that's exactly the point in some respects, that we decided to do this. This is our second round. We've gone through all 14 counties in the first round. And I thought it was important for our cabinet to go out and visit Vermont, to go out in the backgrounds and the backyards of people that have to live in Vermont and what they go through and what they experience and their challenges and opportunities. Our expectation, and I'll say our legislative and the administration at times is we say to people, if you have a problem, come to Montpelier and tell us about it. Well, that's people are busy and they don't have the means to do that. So again, this is really, really important for us to get out to the people and see them and talk to them and look in their eyes and find out what we can do to help.
The day began at the Orvis Fly Rod Manufacturing Facility in Manchester, where state officials toured the plant and got to see how fly rods were made and to hear from some of the Orvis business leaders about what was on their minds.
Just 2 of the drums, and with the extra money the grant, we were able to add 3 more drums. This room is completely different compared to the other one. It's got a 10-foot ceiling. We have great lighting, some of the clean room feel with the flooring as well.
Before they left, the governor and several of the other state officials got to try their hand at fly casting at the Orvis Trout Pond.
Bring back fond childhood memories.
And they both know what's going on, so if they're in the way, then it's there.
After the tour concluded, the state officials fanned out across the entire county, holding meetings in Pownell, Woodford, Shasbury, and Bennington, as well as several in the northern end of the county. Finance Regulation Commissioner Michael Pishak stopped by the Finn & Stone Insurance Company in Manchester, while just down the street, a group that included Public Service Commissioner June Turney visited the Factory Point Bank building. Up in Dorset, beginning at the J.K. Adams building, Housing and Community Development Commissioner Josh Hanford met with a group of local community leaders before heading out on a tour of the town. Meanwhile, in Arlington, Education Secretary Daniel French paid a visit to the Fisher Elementary School and met with school officials there. Agriculture Secretary Anson Tebbets stopped by the Equinox Valley Nursery and heard from co-owner Jennifer Casey, and also got up close and personal with the corn crop.
And we go, it gets better.
Yeah.
But
Any issue with predators?
Crows.
Crows.
Crows are our biggest battle, believe it or not. They will come and they'll just sit right on top of the cob and take the kernels right off. They do the same thing to our sweet corn.
And raccoons don't get, or bears?
The bears get into the sweet corn.
That afternoon, a group of state officials stopped by for a tour of Mack Molding in Arlington, as well as meeting with the firm's leadership. Afterwards, we had a chance to talk with newly appointed Commerce Secretary Lindsay Curley to get her take on the day.
Bennington County has so much energy. There's many groups of people who are very engaged to try to make improvements around the county. Visiting Mack Molding is a reminder of how technology in Vermont is advanced. You could eat off the floor of this place. It's so forward. They're hiring people still. They're bringing people from within the state. They're bringing people from out of the state. And it's just a really exciting time for this area.
And what do you see as the biggest challenge facing Vermont's business and commercial sectors? Is it the cost of living? Is it labor? Is it housing? What comes to mind?
I think it really depends on who you ask. If you're asking the employers, they're saying it's workforce. They are struggling to find people, and some would argue people that possess the skills that they're looking for, but I think the more you're hearing now is just people in general. Our demographics are, we have an aging population, the second oldest state in the nation, maybe the third, depending again on who you ask. But I think that there's no one magic bullet that's going to find the workforce. There's many tools that we're going to need to use in the toolbox. And, again, there's a lot of energy here by workforce groups in Bennington County. So I think that, there's hope, right, that we can help find that. The legislature's working toward helping find, recruiting workers. The administration is. So, again, it's not going to happen overnight, but I think that if we all roll up our sleeves, we can help make this happen.
The Northshire events concluded with a visit to the Canfield Library in Arlington, where State Librarian Jason Broughton met with Head Librarian Phyllis Skidmore and Sheila Kearns, the president of the library's Board of Trustees. All told, more than 30 events across the county were on the agenda. For the GNAT TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.